especially for our speakers. So we'll each of us have 5 minutes to speak. So you get to introduce yourself and tell us where you're from and what you do, and also introduce your topic. Unfortunately, we only have 5 minutes for each speaker because of time, but I hope after this, we can all meet together and really have a bigger conference. And so when you see this red card, just know that your time is up. So you can end your talk, and I hope we'll have a good time. So, as Caroline has said, we are hosting this conference. Is the 8th conference. We've had 8 conferences so far, and this run every week. So every week we have a conference on Monday and on Thursday. So today we are hosted by Kenya. So that's why you can see Caroline introduce and share a bit about Kenya, and because we want everyone to come to see the beauty in Kenya. So welcome. I'm going to go ahead and welcome our first speaker. And our first speaker is an amazing gentleman from India. He's called Dr. Matthew, and he is a professor and also the director of Ecumenical Christian Center. Dr. Matthew, welcome.
Yes, great to see you, Joy, and all of you, the esteemed delegates. And it is a fantastic conference, interacting with everybody from, I think, all over the world, because before we heard about, somebody who is getting up at 5 a.m., some at maybe the evening time, some are at noon, and in India it is around 2:30 p.m. So I don't know what should I say. Good morning or good afternoon or good evening. So anyway, this is a fantastic way of connecting, and I first of all thank to Joy and also the visionary behind it, Dr. Ayla Devi, for this coming together. And as we are all experiencing crisis, we have at present the corona crisis, and I think that enabled us to come together. But we also have many other crises like climate change. Then we have economic crisis. Then there is also the cultural crisis. So we are in the midst of a multiplex of crisis. So therefore, how to be in such a world? So some 85 years ago, a great philosopher and a scientist named Edmund Husserl, May 7th, he gave a lecture in Vienna, 1935, The Crisis of European Society. So in this lecture, he was speaking about the problem of the cultural crisis is because of science and technology. Science and technology became more exploitative, manipulative, and calculative. And he was calling us at that time that we need to be meditative. And science and technology should become a mediator between human existence and the human experience. But we also see that after 1935, we have the Nazi Germany and the rise of Hitlerism, and then the Second World War. And then we see that a world changing. And after the World War, we also see that the rise of communism, the rise of capitalism. So these are the two important isms. But we could also see that in 1989, by the opening of the border between Austria and Hungary, lots of people moving from Hungary to Austria, from Eastern Germany, and then we see that the beginning of the collapse of communism. So we can see that maybe communism is still surviving only in India, because we have in Kerala the first elected communist government, as well in a few other places, but all over the other. So this ism or communism, which was also exploitative, but more of the society that has also come down. And then we also see that what is now happening because of this corona crisis, we see that again another collapse of the capitalism. So that is again the crisis of capitalism, where we could also see that production, market forces, scarcity of things, we see all these things are again changing. And the new change will be based on, I think it is on information. Nobody can make any scarcity about information. Information is everywhere, and it is available, and nobody can control. So therefore, after this post corona era, I am absolutely sure that there will be definitely a new world order emerging. And how to look at this new world order? And I would say that, you know, these changes, that is the exploitative isms, and then also the problematic isms, and they all have a kind of ruthless selfishness and uh, merciless cruelty. So this will be a new world order, which is where the individual, the society, the other, and the nature, so we all will be integrated together. So instead of having a feedback, I think that basing on whatever we have experienced, we need to have a feed forward. This is what I think that the next generation of leadership will enable us to experience, to move forward, to have a vision where we will have the individual, then the other, the society, as well the nature, and maybe the divine. So all these into maybe five integrated results, and basing on that new vision about the nature, we need to evolve. So once again, thank you very much for this opportunity, and I am looking forward listening to you and maybe the interactions. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Matthew, for that session. We really appreciate for starting us off. And so our next speaker is a lady from Kenya. She is a founder of Award Tours and Safaris. She's also the author of a wonderful book that's coming up. It's called The Greatest Wild Beast Migration. She's also a board member of Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship International, and also a pioneer member of Women Leaders International Network. Mary Kamal from Kenya, welcome. Mary Kamal, are you there?
Yes, one second. Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate, ladies and gentlemen, the opportunity to connect with every last one of you. And special thanks to Dr. Ayla and Helen for kicking off this great conversation. Just like what, to echo on what Dr. Matthew has said, I have listened in the previous sessions, and I think we are facing similar challenges that have been caused by COVID-19. I like what Dr. Matthew did, just to connect these with what has been there before, which we are all encouraged that we are going to get out of this as well. So currently, just looking at some of the things that we are doing in Kenya to deal with the situation, I have what I have called charity with dignity, to supplement on what the government effort is doing to minimize the effects of COVID-19, because many people have lost their businesses, their jobs and income, and every day becomes a challenge even for their daily upkeep. We have what Kenyans have done. One of the approaches that we're doing is what we are calling adopting a family. A family that is able, identifies a family that is in need, and they commit to providing for their meals and to make sure they have shelter for the season that we are going to be faced with this crisis. So somebody doesn't quite get exposed to going without food or shelter because of loss of income or something like that. Another approach that we are doing for Kenyans, for Kenya, is giving support through the existing systems. And that is through the churches or the mosque or other places of worship, because people also feel confident when they are going to share, you know, they don't feel exposed when they're sharing their problems with somebody from church or from the mosque or a congregation that they are part of. So those are some of the few things that we are doing to supplement what the government is doing to alleviate the pain of the effects of COVID-19. Now, myself, I'm a tour operator, and I've been in the travel business for the last 22 years. And we have faced many crises, but we have not faced a crisis that we have and of this magnitude. But what we have seen, my topic is sustainable tourism, or what we can call responsible tourism, which can only happen post-COVID. We're still not sure what the new look travel would be like, but one thing is for sure is that people's mindsets have changed, and also their priorities may not be the same post-COVID. One of the things that we have seen is the reduction of pollution. And from Nairobi, a few kilometers when you go east, we can see the crown of Mount Kilimanjaro. If you go on the other side, you can see the peak of Mount Kenya. These are scenes that we haven't seen in the longest. And this is a scene that has been replicated in many of the cities abroad, meaning that pollution, which has been a major problem, we can see how it is reflecting even on our day-to-day lives. Why do I bring this topic for travel post-COVID? It is because at the moment or in the past, green economy has been pushed, the green economy agenda has been pushed by certain organizations and companies. But what we can see now is that me and you have a stake in it. Me and you have a stake in it, and as decision makers, as influencers in our companies, there may be some things that we need to change coming post-COVID, so that we can see how we can reduce on the footprint, the carbon footprint, and all that. That cannot be left again to a few, but we all have to own to that process. And that is what I can see in the foreseeable future. And one of the things that we have found ourselves doing is the use of, let's say, even the mask. It is very new in Kenya, it's very new in Africa, but yeah, we are doing it. But moving forward, it may be a new normal. We may be using the mask on a daily basis. How do we even make sure that this mask is disposed? Other than leaving it for the next person to dispose it, what am I going to do about my mask? So these are some of the things that we can think through and see how that is going to, how we can even incorporate some of these ideas, even in our businesses when we come back, or even in our day-to-day living. The other thing that I was looking at, when that time comes and we are all looking forward to get out of the spaces that we have been confined, is that wherever you go, whether it is for business, for leisure, the people you will be meeting are people who will be coming from a place of pain. Maybe loss, it was a loss of something, loss of business, loss of income, you know, people, or in an extreme case, maybe you have lost a loved one, a friend or something. So there will, I'm seeing a place that people will be coming from a place of pain. And so if we can just make it a strategy that even as we go on, we are sensitive to the people we meet, then we can all be happy people. And what I can say is humanity will be restored, one person for the next. And thanks for your attention.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mary Kamal from Kenya. I think that was a wonderful conversation. And it is true with this time where we are all locked in. I think the environment is celebrating because yes, we can see Mount Kenya and other mountains. The air is more fresher. So I think there's also a lot of positive things that are happening. And thank you for reminding us about charity, to remember those who've been affected, especially those who, you know, casual laborers who cannot go to work. Many have lost their jobs and businesses. So that's a good reminder. Thank you so much, Mary.
Thank you.
We'll go on to our third speaker, and she is Mrs. Peru World, and her name is Lorena Muro. She is the sustainability strategist, advisor for government institutions for over 10 years. She's also a keynote speaker for corporates and on sustainability. She's an auditor and a consultant trainer.
Hello.
She is also a gender equality activist, and she's a business owner and commercial director. So welcome, Ms. Namuro.
Hi. Hello. Can everybody hear me?
Hello.
Hi.
Yes.
So it's 4 a.m. here in Peru. So it's an amazing quiet time to be sharing with everybody from around the world. So I'm really honored to be a part of this moment. Thank you very much. For the last 10 years, I've been speaking about sustainability, which is my passion. And I think now it's a very important time for everybody to understand what really sustainability is. Everybody thinks it's just related to the environment, but sustainability really has to do with keeping life alive. It's really about us as human beings being able to endure in the planet. And we are just another organism that exists within this great, amazing, mega organism that is the Earth. And I think we are understanding how related we are to one another now that we are actually separate. So it's like taking a time out. When we were little, the mom says, go to your room. So we're actually taking a little time out or to understand what is it that we've been doing for so long. And when I refer to our generation, I am not speaking in different ages. I am referring to everybody that is sharing a moment alive right now in the planet. And I think it's an amazing opportunity that we have for being alive right now, and understanding that up until now we've been thinking that we are human beings having a spiritual experience, and I really believe that we are now in a point that we are understanding that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and as humans we are social beings. That is our power. If we get, like Yuval Harari, the writer, historian, says, the power that made us from the beginning of our existence to becoming basically gods in the world, in our planet, it's the fact that we're able to socialize with one another. And regardless of the differences that separate us by illusion, we are really all connected. And now we're understanding this more than ever, because all the decisions that I am making are impacting directly your life and your family. And it's the same way around. We're expecting that your decisions are also affecting me and my family. So it's really important to understand that right now it's a moment where we are expanding our circle of compassion as human beings. We are not enclosed anymore to our families. Now we are a global family, and regardless, you know, I always said this: if we go outside and out of a satellite, we take a picture of the planet, we don't see any type of separations. We don't see any type of frontiers. All we see is one big mass that is the planet that we live in. So we need to understand that now more than ever, there's a big saying. I served in the military in the United States for 8 years, and there's a big saying that everybody knows, that it's divide and conquer. And you will never expect to have a little box of darkness and go into a lit room and expect that darkness to take over. It will never happen. It will always be around. It will always be this little match or this little bit of light that it doesn't matter how deep dark the room is, it will get lit, because that's what human life is all about. And that's what compassion is about. And I think it's a very important time to understand, projecting ourselves into the future, that we, I will take Albert Einstein's words on this. no problem can resolve the same level of consciousness that created it. So this is an opportunity to understand that we will not have a solution if we still think the way that we thought, or the way we're thinking to get to where we are now. So we need to change our consciousness, and we need to expand our consciousness by expanding our level of compassion. I think this is a very important time in human existence, and it really depends on us and understanding the real depth of every single crisis that we're going through. And it does not matter what we think anymore. It's really what we feel. And I think the amazing power that we have as human beings is understanding that by expanding our level of compassion, we will definitely expand our level of consciousness. And all we have to do is what everybody says, and all the prophets and all the religions everywhere around, is expand our heart, is open our heart, and understand that by compassion, it's the only answer that we will have. Now, looking into the future and going a little bit more technical into about it, I honestly believe we're facing a very strategic time that we need to understand where is it that we are focusing our attention, like water. What are we feeding? What are we watering? What plants do we want to grow? We're either looking at a totalitarian surveillance that's basically what's going to happen. And regardless of how it's being used, we are either looking at a totalitarian surveillance or a citizen empowerment. And if we look into citizen empowerment, we have to understand that it's either a national isolation that countries will take, or a global solidarity. And by looking at the screen right now here this morning from South America and seeing everybody very looking forward for life, I definitely understand that a global solidarity is what we're looking for. So from our little room and from our little house and our little family, understand that we're all interconnected. We're now more connected than ever. And just let's aim, I hope that everybody aims for an integral and a definitely conscious, sustainable life. So thank you very much.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much, Mrs. Peru. We really appreciate that reminder that we have to expand our level of consciousness. We have to expand our hearts. I think that was amazing. Thank you so much. And so we go to our next speaker. Our next speaker is also from Mrs. World, and she is Mrs. Haiti, and she's called Mrs. Modeline. She is an attorney from the Law Office of Modeline Alterna. Welcome, Mrs. Haiti. Is she with us? Mrs. Modeline? Yes, I can see her. Mrs. Modeline, you're welcome.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes? Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for the opportunity
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Yes.
And thank you to Miss Carolyn as well, extending the opportunity. So great to see you. Yes, so my name is Modeline Altenor. I'm gonna just briefly focus on some great points. I think just living in the world that we're living in today, what tomorrow looks like. And I had a great discussion with my husband, who's an MD, not yet practicing, and really, we have to essentially have a very smart way of thinking. We have to think on move forward, right? Because we cannot live in the way that we've been living. We are warm-blooded people. We need touch, we need to smell, we need to feel, we need to get connected back with the people that we love, with society. And I think the biggest issue, obviously, that plagues all of us across the globe, which makes us tied as one, where we're all in it together, literally, is to keep or not to keep social distancing. And obviously the goal and the only way out of this is for us to continue social distancing, but to being smart about it. Personal experiences I think we can all share is that we're all missing our loved ones. And it got to a point where well, how do we get around this? Because what's going to change from now to December? How do we reconnect with people that have been following the rules? Can we say, well, quarantine people should stick with quarantined people? So these are issues that we're facing. I think scientifically, just as the flu season comes around, COVID-19 might stick with us as well and come around as well. And the difference is COVID-19 is far more contagious, right? Because people die during flu season as they are dying terribly during this pandemic we're facing. And we need to think about habits that we must emphasize. We got to stay off our face, washing our hands, using our mask. This is the new way of life. This is going to be around for a very long time, and this just might be our new normal as we are experiencing now. My family and I, we've been really focused on just the positivity of this matter. We can get really sucked into thinking of all the woes and how our lives are changing, but there's a lot of positive in this. I think we can all agree, and I think we need to focus on that as well, and that is family. I've had the opportunity, being an attorney, I'm not supposed to be home, like, at all, at all. I have well over 500 clients. I'm fully staffed. I have a 7-month-old I've had the opportunity to watch grow up. I have a toddler that I turned into a preschool teacher overnight. I'm actually pretty good at it. So there's been a lot of positivity, and in every negative, there is a positive. And I think if we take that attitude and being smart in how we move forward, reintegrating into society, learning how to adapt, learning new social cues in terms of how we're going to be polite when we're saying, hey, you're getting too close, nonverbal and verbal cues, we can learn how to live together again outside of our homes. That's just one face of what I wanted to discuss. What I've also been doing in representing my country, Haiti, I just want to say that I am actually Haitian American, born in the United States, and I live in Florida. But much of my service work is in Haiti. And recently, I just embarked on this journey. It's been about 2 years now. I've been trying to build a school in Haiti. A lot of people that have been following my journey know this. And the positive that's come out of being locked up and being in quarantine is it's come to mind over and over and over again that I've never finished this goal of mine. And in doing so, I was able to find out that there was a charity out there that would be willing to match any sizable donation that I was able to provide to the school in Haiti. And thankfully, in my position, my husband and I agreed to go ahead and fill the gap and deposit $15,000 into the pool of money that we needed. And now we have a school that will be built in Haiti once the country is unlocked. So there are lots of positive things that are coming about. I think we need to really stick on that because very quickly we will find that mental health is going to be a very big issue when people are coming out. That's what we're looking at moving forward. Divorce rates are higher than ever. Why? Because we're all locked in, and you're going to find out quickly you either like your spouse or you don't, right? Thankfully, I love mine, so we're doing good. But those numbers are through the roof. Domestic violence, that's going to be another issue post COVID-19 that we're going to have to face. Lots of issues coming out in our society, but there's a lot of positivity that can be done. I will say for the country of Haiti, what's going on right now, just to give some stats, thankfully, in terms of being overpopulated yet a very poor country in the Eastern Hemisphere, I would say they're doing well. They've got about 700 cases, and I think they have about 3 deaths. So they're doing good, but the pandemic has altered every detail of the way that we live our lives. And it is incredible to me that I never realized this. Haiti and the people that live there rely on the people that are in this country, the United States, keeping them alive. right? Because there's the haves and the have-nots. There's no middle class over there. You're either filthy rich or you have nothing. And what I've realized is they are now suffering a different battle because we have unemployment through the roof. So everybody that was pretty much supporting the country now no longer can because they're out of a job. So anyway, let's just keep doing good work and staying positive. Thanks.
Wow, thank you so much. That was just amazing. I wish we had so much time because you have so much to share. But thank you for reminding us to focus on the positive amidst all the negativity that is going around, the pain and the suffering. It's also good to look at what is positive. Thank you so much. Really an honor to have you speak to us today. And our next speaker is Mrs. Poland. Mrs. Poland. Sorry, I think I just lost her name. Mrs. Poland, are you with us? She's Ewa, right? Oh, yes,
yeah.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. So my name is Eva, and then I am actually a pharmacist. So I obviously, as a pharmacist, would love to see a vaccine or medications that can help with the pandemic and the virus. But that actually isn't really coming anytime soon. So what I wanted to focus on today was a couple personal stories, anecdotes, and things that I found to kind of help with the situation, the pandemic, and what we all can do as individuals to help those in need. There are very many devastating effects. I know, like the economy, changes in the way we do business, which was mentioned. It's a lot of virtual. It's going to be virtual now, and for the first time, I was able to work remotely in the position that I have now. And at first I thought it was great. This is great. I don't have to commute 2 hours a day anymore. I'm like, I have all this free time. And then I started working, and then I started falling into a rut because right now, like my husband and I love doing ballroom dancing, and we were not able to do that anymore. So we weren't connected with our dance family anymore. We would do that several times during the week. And then we also are involved in our church. So we are in the choir, and we're very active in our church community. And where we are no longer able to have church, to go to church. So the impact of social isolation was impacting me. And I'm a very strong person. I never really feel sad. I try to be positive, and I just felt like I was falling into a depression. I remember just sitting couple weeks ago, actually maybe it was it was about a couple weeks ago, and I was sitting in the bay window, and I felt like catatonic. I couldn't function. I couldn't do anything. My husband came down. He goes, "You've been sitting there all day." And so I just felt, yeah, I really need to do something about it. I stopped exercising, which I think really makes you feel better when you do exercise, which I found because I started walking again. So I actually started to reflect and think of how other people are feeling, how other people who may not be in the situation, be in a comfortable home, have like a strong relationship or family, how they're feeling. And then I started thinking about all the individuals that I could help because I do like being a change and helping others. I love being an advocate for others. So some of the things I started thinking of was ways to bring my community back during this time. And that would be, we reached out, our pastor reached out to my husband and I, and my husband does have video equipment, and he's really into his new hobby of doing videos, photography. So we were able to help our pastor do an online mass, and we finally did that last week. And we're perfecting it, so we're going to try to do it again. So I get to read, I could be a lecturer, and my husband was a cantor. And so we're going to be able to connect with our church family again. So I'm really excited about that. So I also was thinking about the elderly population, and I'm a member of the Lions Club. And so I was really excited when our organization decided that we were going to help the elderly because they could no longer leave their houses, go shopping, and they're, vulnerable to this disease. They're older. So I started volunteering at the local supermarket, taking phone calls, taking grocery lists for those in our community. And then we had, other Lions members taking the groceries. I hate grocery shopping, so I'm like, I'll take the calls. I don't want to do the grocery shopping. I don't even like do my own grocery shopping, and also delivering the food to those needing the food. Also, I was like thinking, and then there were so many individuals in nursing homes who could no longer have family or visit, and then just the social isolation of that, already being in a nursing home. So I started thinking of ways to help with that. So I started writing postcards to those in the nursing homes, just to kind of bring up their spirits. And I know, like, after this, the social interaction is going to change, and that's one of the things that I was thinking about, because I would really want to go. I love hugging people. I like getting hugs. And it is going to change, because we're not going to be able to really connect with the people that we used to be able to do. So I was thinking of the story. I work at a hospital. Usually, I'm on site, and I was in an elevator with a patient one time. And then my favorite accessory is a smile. I'm always smiling. I love to smile. I think it brightens everyone's day. And then the patient in the elevator was saying, "Oh, what are you smiling about?" And I said, "Well, a smile is infectious, and this is the one infection I do want you to catch in the hospital. So I do want to make sure that we all connect with people. Just that simple smile will help people during these tough times." So another issue that I also thought about too is just being in the house and being quarantined and being with the same people, or my husband, 24/7, and just being quarantined with that person. I'm fortunate where I have a great relationship. I have a great husband. He's my best friend, and we really enjoy being together all the time. But then I started thinking, what about those women who are in a situation where they can't leave? And then I remember doing a fundraiser before I left for Mrs. World, and I donated a lot of proceeds to the Domestic Violence Resource Center here in my community. And I was reached out, and I wanted to be a volunteer because as we said, Madeline mentioned that domestic violence is going to go up, or it has gone up, being quarantined with somebody you don't want to be with. So I volunteered to be on the calls. And right now, the number of calls is not up, because obviously women can't call. They're stuck in home and they can't make the calls because their spouse is with them. So I know that after this is all kind of settling down, and who knows what the new normal will be, that it will be a big issue in the community. So I've wanted to reach out and help with that. So those are some of the things that I've been doing. I just would like to leave off with a quote. One of my sister queens posted this the other day, and I'm going to take a part of Mother Teresa's quote because I think it's very, very effective for what we're talking about today. It's, "I used to pray for answers, but now I'm praying for strength. I used to believe that prayer changes things, but now I know that prayer changes us, and we change things." So the changes we need to make, if we are not already practicing: be the light, be kind, and be the change you wish to see in the world. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today.
Wow, thank you so much. That was just amazing. Thank you for reminding us to smile, because a smile is infectious, and that's the best infection to pass around. Thank you so much. It was great to have you today. And so we're going to move on to New England, and we'd like to welcome Julie. Julie is a wife, mother, she's an author and infertility advocate. She has also former titles in Miss World, DC America, 2017. Mrs. America, 2018. And Mrs. C. Oh, yes, welcome.
Hi, thank you so much. First of all, thank you for having this wonderful platform for all of us to be able to get together. And Caroline, thank you so much for bringing so many of my Mrs. World sisters all together in one platform, whether it's 4 a.m., 5 a.m. I'm sitting here actually in my bathroom because we have 2 homes, and I'm in our DC home because my husband has to be at the main office. And this is the only quiet place I can have at 5 a.m. So thank you all. So sorry if there's a lot of echo. It's the only reason why I'm telling you where I'm sitting. But I am Julie Cangelosi. I am the reigning Mrs. New England World. I love this organization. I've been able to be part of the World, Mrs. World and Mrs. America family for the last 3 years, or 4 years rather. And it has given me the biggest gift, and that is to meet people and connect with people just like you all around the world, and be able to hear their stories and all of the passions that everyone has had today of how they're making a difference in their community is so infectious and incredible. And it's platforms like this that I really do think, as Eva said, to change the world. This is how we can be the change and change the world, is having these connections in these communities. During this time of crisis and pandemic, it's a time for all of us that has been forced to slow down. I normally travel 4 to 5 days a week, and I have 2 small toddlers. It has always been a juggle and a struggle to be able to try to be everything for everyone. And I know that's pretty universal, I think, in everyone's life. And this has been a time that I'm grounded. Obviously, there's not a lot of air traffic. I'm not flying. Everything is home-based. And I've taken this as an opportunity to slow down and enjoy those gifts and that gift of time. Being able to be home for both of my children's birthdays this year, although it was very different than what we originally had planned, but to be able to see their faces and their smiles and decorate and take those little moments together. Like Modeline said, I'm now also a preschool teacher. She's probably much better than I am, but it has been a time to be able to give back to my family in ways that I haven't been able to in quite a while. But it's also given us the time to reconnect differently. As we've heard this morning, everyone likes to be able to feel that connection. And we can't do that right now. Or when we do get to see people, we have masks on. And it's a very different telling time, teaching our children, who are now 4 and 6, to wear a mask to go outside. And that it's a cool thing to do, so they keep it on, but it's also about giving them that safety to realize that this is the new normal, and it's okay. All your friends are wearing them too, but this is to keep you safe. But to not give them that extra fear and being able to still feel connected, it's been a new way to connect in different ways, like FaceTime or Zoom like this. Having my children have FaceTime play dates, it's just a little different, but still letting them have that sense of community has been really important during this time. But besides all that, when you look at that internal structure, as a family, we wanted to continue to give back to our greater community. And we're trying to do that in different ways of small acts of kindness, whether we have made cookies and food to give to those essential workers that are still there, or new neighbors to make sure that they feel welcome into the community. As a neighborhood, we see within the metro area, there's an increase of food insecurity. So we have been collecting lots of food as well as important toiletries to be able to give back for those who may be out of work, who may have been living paycheck to paycheck, and now they're really struggling. And we don't want anyone to ever feel that they can't put food on the table. So it's been really nice to see it really spread, because as you said, small acts of kindness grow. So when you start collecting, you start seeing that basket fill, you feel the power to give back, and to be able to keep filling that basket has been really incredible. Lastly, in America, and I'm sure we're in many other places, that, there's been a shortage of personal protective equipment, including masks. And it is so important for our frontline workers to be able to feel safe at work, so they can also feel safe at home, because that would be the worst feeling, to know that they can't, come home or feel safe. So I've actually partnered with a group of American seamstresses called Soul Stitcher, and they have made these reusable, breathable masks that can be washed at home. And it has been really nice to incorporate my children again, to have them help me package these, but also make these lovely notes. And my daughter just pretty much draws, but she draws pretty pictures to be able to give to the workers as a thank you. Because I think at the end of the day, that is the biggest thing we need to make sure we're still saying. We're not connecting with everyone. And if we're not saying thank you for everyone who is still out there, thank you to everyone in the grocery store still working, the healthcare workers, those are the small acts that I think really we've been trying to really embrace and say thank you as a family. And then moving forward, we're really trying to see if we can take these gifts that have now been given us as time to be able to take that into the future. I want to be able to hopefully slow down and be able to enjoy all these little moments as a family to be able to continue, because I do believe that we have a stronger bond now as a whole unit. And I know that bond will just continue to grow. Thank you.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much. I think one thing you've reminded us today is that this has been a time to slow down, reconnect differently with family, and also what you've mentioned about small acts of kindness. That is amazing. Thank you so much. So we'll move on to our next speaker. Thank you. Our next speaker is Mrs. Rashi Jain. Rashi Jain, she is Mrs. Swana Kamal World, Mrs. Swana. Rashi Jain. Oh yes, here you are. Okay, please switch on your audio. Yes, thank you.
Is it okay?
Yes, we can see you right now.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Good afternoon from India. I am Dr. Rashi Jain. For now, I want to introduce myself as a life, trying to make out best out of what I can bring to humanity. And thank you for this platform for World Leader Conference, and thank you, Kenya, for this opportunity. As my quote says that quarantine is a comma, not a full stop. So arrange it your way to bring changes, and some halts and jolts are potential of great changes. Yes, this halt has brought many changes at economical level, emotional level, financial level. It has actually broken the insecure environment we used to live in. So, but being the most advanced creation of nature, we being humans have capacity and capability to bring any situation into our own good perspectives. So I retrospectively thought, how can I deal with it? And if I follow it, then I can represent and tell to people to change accordingly. So I can segregate my virtues and followings under 10 headings. So for the first thing I thought about is gratitude. I need to be thankful for the life. I am alive and I can accomplish things which I want to. I want to give gratitude for the frontline workers and for the doctors, for the healthcares, for the house workers, everyone who are out there to give us everything needed for life for now. I am abundant with life and the environment which is giving us the best. So yes, gratitude is the first thing I inculcated. I thanked everybody in my life. Second is the social media, which is the lifeline for now. The communication we are creating, the content which we are presenting on the social media. So let's not promote hate, fear, uncertainty on social media. Please come up with constructive ideas. And that's what I did. I made a video of love, of connections, of communication. And I am utilizing it to make my children connect with their cousins so that they don't feel disconnected. So I'm using social media for the best possibility and come up with ideas, come up with scientific ideas and share on social media. Read. Third point I inculcated is started reading, because reading enhances my awareness and knowledge. And when I have knowledge, then we can discover and invent new ideas and come up with solutions. So basic idea is to not be in fear, but come up with solutions of the problems. The fourth thing which I inculcated is managing myself, coming to basics. The hygiene matters, the maintenance matters. In India, we do a lot of yoga. Yoga is the way of life. You know, it teaches you the way you are. You don't need to be something extra or something less. Just be as a life. So I've started practicing yoga, inculcating it in my family, practicing it every day. So managing the basics of life and inculcating and taking forward beyond this lockdown. Then the sixth point I think is the um, is managing the limitations. It is about taking life as not limited. If life is limited with luxuries, so let it be. Restrictions and limitations lead to discipline. So this restriction is for discipline, to channelize our energy to a better person. We discipline our children with restrictions. So why not nature restrict us? Nature is recuperating, is healing. It needs isolation for some time. Why can't we just isolate it and be with ourselves and manage ourselves? Why can't we rid of our some habits? Why can't we channelize our energy to get rid of and maybe inculcate some new habits? 21 days is the best time. If you do something regularly for 21 days, that inculcates, or if you leave something for 21 days, it just vanishes off. So practice meditation also, so that you can channelize your energy. I have started meditating. I had some health ailments which are no more now. I had some back pains. I started doing sadhana. We call it sadhana in India. So that channelizes, and I feel complete in myself. I don't need parties. I don't need connections, and that focuses my energy to focus for the people. Yeah. Third comes, I thought about the compassion part, the people I can help, the caretakers, the needy. Nobody should starve to death. We can do our bit. So we used to prepare food and distribute, keep it downstairs. So whoever needs it can take it, and we connect it to communities where people really need food. So we need to build in compassion for them. We need to share our blessings with the basics of life. We are already having so much hardship. So we don't need more deaths with the starvation, which we can provide definitely. Third part is the education, the regular conventional education, traditional ways of education maybe cannot be successful in the near future. So I have started implicating my child into holistic, preparing him, empowering him for the bigger competitions of life than the science and technologies. Yes, that's already we have a lot of, but we really need to learn the holistics, the way life flows, the way nature flows. Then I thought about the profession. Okay, we are all professional. We don't want to stagnate our professional skills. So we should come up with the ideas that how can we justify our professional skills. Maybe on the social media, I started telecommunications. I've started consultations, educating people about oral hygiene. I'm a dentist, so I feel connected to my profession. And India has come up with a new idea that to get youth engaged. I can see there is a lot of porn is being very much watched, and there is a lot of games, video games. We don't want our youth to get engaged in things which they should not be. They should they should engage their energies in good part. So I want them to get engaged in something constructive. So India came up with the idea that they have put a reward for people, for youngsters to come up with scientific ideas. So for now, and lastly is the fear. We don't want to get in the black hole of fear. Let this year, 2020 pandemic, be the torchbearer for the future generations and for this world, for humanity of love and direction. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Dr. Rashi from India. We really appreciate. And thank you for reminding us about gratitude and developing new habits, because a lot is changing and we have to adopt to the change. Thank you so much. It was an honor to have you. So right now we're going to go to Venezuela, and we will invite Mrs. Venezuela. She's Mrs. Vivian, and she is the CEO of Institute of Education and Technology. Welcome.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah, Mrs. Puerto Rico.
Yes. Oh,
Venezuela
okay.
couldn't do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, hello everybody. It's 6 a.m. I think. So good morning. I was thinking if I should participate because I always say I don't like how I speak in English. I always say it. So if I make some mistakes, I'm sorry. My first language is Spanish, and in Puerto Rico we really don't speak English anywhere, so I can't practice at all. So I had been hearing all of you about the economics things about how people are scared. Here in Puerto Rico, we have a lockdown. We cannot go out unless it's an emergency. And on Sundays, is everything closed. You cannot go out even if it's an emergency. But I want to talk about, a part of that, because all of that is happening all around the world. I want to talk about the fathers and the mothers that are continuing working and are taking the places of their teachers and are, teach them their kids, are working their jobs in the same time, are cleaning their houses, making some food, because where you work outside, you can go and buy something, but really, now it's really all in here and it's exhausting. Sometimes it's hard, but you need to say, well, I have 6 and 7 years old daughters, and I don't only need to study with them, I need to teach them all the lessons they given, because they don't know. So it's a lot of time we are investing in our families. That is something good, but like I say, it's exhausting and it's different. And we maybe sometimes think we doesn't have any help because we are alone in the houses. I have my husband, but I don't have my fathers that also help me, or my sisters that sometimes help me with these things while I'm working on, I'm studying also. So I want to talk about that persons that are doing all of this and making a difference, helping their child to continue getting those grades and working hard to get the discipline and everything they need to continue a normal life. I hope I get understand. And I also want to say that the coronavirus is bringing so much sadness, and it's very difficult, but people are learning to care more about other people. And the coronavirus is teaching people the importance of life, the importance of respect another people's life. You by respecting your life, you are respecting other people's life. While staying in your home, you are taking care of yourself and others. And most important, I think people understand that money or material things are nothing important right now. Yes, if you have savings, maybe you can afford the situation a little less badly than other people that have more economic problems. But right now, everything we buy, dresses, clothes, jewelry, that doesn't matter. The coronavirus can get to you even if you have everything you want. It's taking so much lives of people that have everything. So I think this also teach people about the value of the real things, the family, the health, and be all together and working as a group, as a community. So I think after all, it will bring, let me see how I say it. After all, we will have something good about this situation, and that is to appreciate more the life and what we really have that is important. So that will be.
Wow, thank you. That is amazing. And your English is actually good because we could hear you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And you've reminded us that money and material things are not actually that important. Yes, they're important, but at this time we're learning a different lesson. So thank you so much for that reminder. It was an honor to have you today. And so right now we're going to go to India. And our next speaker is Dr. Jayanta, but he likes being called Dr. JC. So I'm going to call him Dr. JC. He's a leadership strategist and coach. He's also the founder of Centrec Global, and he's a growth accelerator. Dr. JC from India, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Joy. And it's really a pleasure to share the platform with all the global thought leaders here. And I'm grateful to Dr. Ayla for inviting me here. And I'm just listening to all the brilliant brains across the globe here. Let me talk a little bit about what I do. Actually, I help leaders and organizations to grow. And since the lockdown, I have a number of meetings, interactions, and I'm seeing there is this is a don't touch economy, you can say. So this don't touch economy situation has led a tremendous panic across the globe in every sphere of life. And I'm seeing the law and order people are singing to motivate people. So I find that more leaders like you are in the same platform, thinking for the welfare of the community. And now, since this pandemic has, identified one big point, that whatever development our human science has done, it's not adequate, to combat these healthcare situations. We are not still compatible to face this crisis. And also we are not compatible to find this biological war, how to stop these things. Even across the globe, all the scientists are working, but we are yet to get any solutions. So for a few days back, one of my good friend, he is an AI expert, he gave one information he shared that one Canadian company called Blue Dot, they used AI and algorithm and predicted long back that these things are going to happen. And they duly informed to the authorities, but unfortunately there was an execution problem and nothing happened actually. And the whole world is now locked down. Now, again, this type of grave crisis which never happened into the humanity before, I feel that this teaching us a few lessons. One is that we are so much engrossed earlier that we forgot to look at the nature. And many speakers here also shared that Mount Kilimanjaro is visible. And I can say from here, Mount Everest is also visible from the northern part of the India. And the clear picture is there, though the animals and deers are coming back to the roads. And I'm seeing so many, there are records that the pollution level has dropped down. And now, since this topic, which actually I was told that it will be how the leadership will perform into the post-COVID scenario. So I would like to share 4 points just because there are a lot of speakers and it will be better to be very crisp. My takeaway as a leadership expert or teacher, you can say, that the leadership starts with lead yourself first. So this is a situation of confusion, chaos, panic, anxiety. So what we need to do is first to prime myself as a leader. And how I can prime that? Okay, so imagination is more powerful than the willpower. Now, if you see, we are always bombarded with lot of negative information. The corona is doing that, or COVID-19 virus killed so many people, this, that. We all know that more people are killed due to the air pollution. The rate is 6 to 10% people die due to the pollution. And now what happened that since the country is locked down, everywhere it is there that people are fighting to go back to the normalcy. That's a normal brain behavior. So what we can do, we can practice. Meditation is a very fine technique because meditation, it is proved by the scientists, neuroscientists, that meditation brings the neuroplasticity of the brain. Your brain is a superpower itself. and it can cope and combat any situation, and not only cope and combat, but they can bring solutions. How you look at the system. Number one is that. Number two is that leading yourself first, then leading your team. How you are dealing with your people, how you are compassionate to them, how you are thinking about your customers, how you are thinking about your supply chain, how you are giving them support in this time of crisis is going to create a very long-lasting impact in your business, and as well as your brand building, as well as your market reputations. Number three is that COVID is not ending everything. In fact, already fintech business has jumped to 72%. Healthcare has jumped to very serious researches are going on. And many things are coming, and this distribution networking system will be very powerful. So there will be a lot of new business opportunities, new business avenues. Now we need to think that whether your business suits and whether your business can adapt the future demand, which is coming in a very near term. And the fourth part is that what I feel, and many of you are already doing that we should be more community based. Many people lost job. Many people are not getting food. Many people are in a serious crisis. Can we be empathetic? Can we do something? Many of us are doing either through our own organizations or through our different type of social NGOs, etc. And also, we need to create employments, just like Dr. Ayla is planning with her forum of World Women Leading Change. She shared that she is focusing to empower 3 million women across the globe. It will be a revolution. So this is a brilliant platform, and it's a really pleasure to interact with you all. And with this note, I finish my very small introduction. And I am also running a WhatsApp group, as I have posted into the message that it's Titan Summit. And that's, by this time I have created a global networking consulting platform so to help other people to get business here in India, and we can collaborate each other. And thank you all. And thanks to Dr. Ayla for giving me this opportunity to share a few words with you. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you so much, Dr. JC. That was just amazing. And I like what you've said about, I think it's food for thought for everyone who is in business. Can your business adapt to new demands that are arising? Because they say every challenge presents an opportunity. So it is for us business people to look at what opportunities can we align ourselves, even as we look to getting to the end of this pandemic. Thank you so much. We really appreciate to have you today. It is an honor to have you. Thanks again. So right about now, we're going to come back to Kenya. And our next speaker is called Roslyn Njogona. She is the founder of Kupatia and another foundation called Educate Her. Welcome, Mrs. Roslyn.
Hi, Joy. Thank you so much. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
It's a good thing because I had just lost my power and now it's come back. So just before we came on, I'm back on with you guys. I'm so excited to be a part of this. And Joy, thank you so much for that introduction. I would like to say the brainchild behind this form of an organization or bringing people together, God bless you, because this has been such an awakening and it has actually made us feel like we are one global community, like some other speakers had said earlier. Had it not been for COVID situation, I don't think we would have had this sort of a forum because all of us had very busy lives before this. So there's been good things out of this COVID-19 situation. Let me give a shout out to my sister-in-law, Caroline. I love you, my sister. She's right there. She's my twin sister attached by the hip in so many different forms. So thank you, Caroline, for also inviting all of your friends and my other fellow Kenyans and our global community. Thank you so much. I just wanted to say from my experience being here in Kenya, I can say I've lived in 2 different parts of the continent. I relocated back to Kenya from the US, and so I have different experiences in both spectrums. My time here in Kenya has been very interesting, even going through this COVID situation. Some of us who came back to start new businesses that now have stopped because of the scenario we find ourselves in, we're not complaining because what we're saying is we have to be grateful to God that we are actually alive and we are healthy. We've had some friends and families who've been directly impacted by the corona situation. And so there are very many different people dealing in different challenges and finding ways to overcome the losses that they have experienced. And so we have to be grateful, just like someone had said earlier. So in my experience, being here in Kenya, I can talk in 3 different aspects of how I can say me and my family have been affected. And one is in the real estate factor. As you can imagine, the whole world has come to a stop. So some of our construction projects have also come to a stop because of practicing the social distancing and keeping the hygiene. And we're not really going to cry over that, because opportunities will come up later, and we will have to evolve and adapt with whatever is out there that we will find post-COVID. The other scenario I can speak about is also in farming, as many of those who come from a developing nation, most of the informal sector in Kenya, that is the driving machine behind the growth of a country, is in the informal sector. So some of us who are also in farming have been greatly challenged, because a lot of the produce that is sold in the markets have now reduced in capacity, including because the schools are closed, restaurants are closed, many businesses are closed. You're found that you're left with your produce and not having an avenue that you can share that produce with. But the good thing about that, and that's why I speak a lot about being compassionate, nothing goes to waste. You distribute it to your community, around your neighbors, give it to people who are actually not doing very well, just so that we can be the brothers and the sisters and the keepers of each other. So we're not going to cry over that either, because we are out there helping those that need supply and the productivity that we can give in this interim. So we will recover out of this. I'm a true optimist, so I know we'll recover from this. But the one area I would like to speak of is in the industry of education, because in my heart of hearts, I feel that my best skills come in when I'm helping the next generation be able to find a way to wake up and get up and find opportunities. And when you think about the school system, because all the schools are closed, there's many schools that have started e-learning programs that had preset themselves to be able to provide those kind of learning techniques for their students when the schools are closed. However, that's not a uniform platform for everybody. When you look at children in the city who have capability of internet connection, data connection, and those kind of forums, the continuity of education has gone on for them. For me, my concentration is for the education that's provided in the villages out of the city center, which have all new different challenges that they have to meet, because many of them, not only are they not digitally connected, they don't have electricity and power. They don't have running water. They're day laborers where they're learning to live on whatever they produce every day. And so that entails a whole different challenge and also different opportunities, because those who are not able to learn, you got to find creative ways to sort of keep the system going. And so in the country now, they've started something that's called a Google Loom, where there's a balloon that goes around providing data connectivity in places where they had no connectivity. They also have learning through the TV and learning through the radio, but also that produces different challenges because it's not uniform. This pandemic came as a shocker, and it was so quick to be prepared, but that also provides an opportunity going forward of what we can do to be able to bridge that gap between those who are in the villages and give them an opportunity as well. So as we progress forward in our downtime, we're rethinking how we provide education and digital learning and teaching different methodologies and techniques to those who are in the villages, because those same villages have the doctors, they have the scientists, they're the next innovators of this world. And if you actually give each and every one of them a chance, you'll be amazed by what you find. That's the optimism that I have myself, find myself filled with, because you find that they're very creative in the things that they're able to provide or produce, even with the little whatever products that they have in their villages. And so give them an opportunity and you would be amazed by what they're able to do in the world. And I know my time's up, but I'll give a real quick scenario of some of the people who now are not farming, the girls who are not even able to go to school. They've been creative with those disposable masks that you've heard someone talk about before, and look and see what they're able to do. Someone who's never sewed before is able to come up with a product like this. And so you help fund them, and I buy their products and I give them away to those who do not have, but at least they're able to hone their skills and expand in their capabilities. Others are creating washing station machines, and out of nothing. But if we're able to look at the next generation when we come out of this COVID situation, how can we help empower them so they can be the next future generators of improving their own lives? So I know my time's up. We have a lot that we can share and talk about, but I live on hope. And that's why my statement had said, I am because we are. And in these forums, we're able to all share in ideas and grow and develop each other. So thank you so much. God bless you wherever you are, and stay safe. Thank you, Joy. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Rosaline. That was amazing. And thank you for mentioning about education, because one of the things that Dr. Ayla, and she'll be sharing with us later, what she started is crisis centers. And one of the crisis centers is an education center. So she'll be sharing with us about that later. But right now we're going to our next speaker, and we're going all the way to Japan. And I'm going to invite Mrs. Japan. She is called Mrs. Rika, and she is also a university lecturer. Mrs. Rika, you're welcome.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity to talk to you today. Actually, my name is Rika Kobayashi, and I am a university language lecturer in USA. And also I have a license to teach English and Japanese in Japan. And I kind of prepare a little bit of PowerPoint for you guys, so I'd just like to share with you. I'd like to talk first about school. Can you see the screen, everybody?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah. So today I just want to talk about the education situation in Japan after COVID-19. As always, everybody's aware in the world at this moment, 85% of the countries schools are closed, and 1.6 billion students are not able to go to school. And the same as in Japan, all schools are closed since March 4th. And first of all, it says the government says until May 6th, but now they are considering to expand to the end of May. And in Japan, spring is pretty important season for students, like graduation. Normally, we have graduation in March, and a school entrance ceremony also in April. But it seems to me everything is going to be canceled or postponed. And the COVID-19's impact on education, obviously there's no school. So it brings also huge burden on a parent and also disrupt curriculum. And in Japan, the competition to go into university and high school, junior high is very high. And the students are always pretty high stress. And in registration, no school, students are dealing much more bigger mental stress. And believe it or not, in Japan, we have 20% of students don't have Wi-Fi or PC, computer home, which bring up educational inequality because of digital inequality, depending on a family's financial situation and also location where students live. For example, in Tokyo, there is a public Wi-Fi, but for example, in my hometown, which is 3 million people live, we have very limited Wi-Fi, public Wi-Fi. And for the students living in a countryside, Wi-Fi would be a very big issue unless your family has. And I think we want to I want to point out two questions. One question to you, everybody. What do school needs to do in this COVID-19 situation? And I would say Japan and also all other countries need to adapt as soon as possible and make huge change. So next question will be, what kind of change do we need to make? Huge change is going to be from analog to digital. For example, as I mentioned already, Wi-Fi in a public space and also all home and classroom. In Japan, I used to teach at the junior high school over there, and there is no Wi-Fi in a school, in a classroom at all, and you're not supposed to use it because digital, you're not supposed to have a mobile phone home, at the school, because Japanese education organization think Wi-Fi, having a Wi-Fi at school is not going to be good for students learning. And also, we have to change teaching equipment. At this moment, everybody uses paper and pen. And I teach with blackboard, with a chalk. But that's not going to be good enough anymore because no school. So PC for each student and teacher. And a PC, 20% of the students don't have a PC home. So government has to involve with that, like giving away students the PC and remote learning programs, like using this Zoom or Skype. And as I mentioned before, from paper textbook, at this moment, 100% of a student and the teacher will use a paper textbook, no digital textbook at all. But it has to be changed to digital software. And some, I know in America, we have like top hat, or in Japan, Atama Plus. It uses AI tools and method. We have to change how to teach, and for students, how to learn. For example, when I learned, I got a license to teach English and Japanese in Japan. When I learned how to teach, we have to learn with the digital material. Now, I have to learn how to use digital material. And also, we have to study how to take care of students remotely. And COVID-19 will accelerate speed of change, huge amount. And before Japanese government mentioned that we will start digital education system, but it was so moving so slowly, and now Japanese government has to speed up and give away tool for digital to students and also school and to the like a general public as well, like a Wi-Fi and also PowerPoint, all sort of tool. So now I would say I want to finish with the word. Now we have to be ready for revolutionary change. And a new normal is going to be our new normal. Thank you very much for listening.
Well, thank you so much, Mrs. Rika. That was amazing. And I like what you said about we have to accelerate the speed of change in education, because for sure, it's been almost 3 months that our children have to miss going to school. And some are unfortunate, they're not able to access digital, the Wi-Fi and internet. And it's the same case here in Kenya as well. So thank you so much for that session. We really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Right about, we are going to go to Taiwan, and I'm going to invite Mrs. Alison Feng. She is Mrs. Taiwan. She is also the founder of Amber and Fifth Fashion Business Services, and also the founder of New Taiwanese Young Professional Group. Welcome.
Hi everyone, this is Allison. I'm in fashion industry and I came from Taiwan, but now I'm living in New York City. Can everyone hear me right now? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I want to talk about how the COVID impacted New York City from before to now. And later on, I will talk about the situation in Taiwan right now. So first, I want to start from the beginning. Before the COVID hit New York, why that was in January, while I was traveling in Asia, I noticed something was going on. So because my industry heavily relies on Asia for production, especially China, India, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Indonesia. The supply chains had already been interrupted because of COVID in China in January. So even though there were still many countries that seems very laid back, I still sense some kind of a collapsing approach in different areas. But at that time, we didn't know how much this damage could be caused by the COVID worldwide. Also, starting from the end of January, I heard a lot of rumors spreading within the fashion industry in New York City, which caused a certain amount of fear of uncertainty. So I decided to start to closely watch and contact my partners in Asia to monitor the situation, and this allowed me to plan ahead. So when COVID finally hit New York in March, it wasn't very surprising to me. Instead of a panic, I immediately started volunteering my connection in fashion and textile area, sourcing for some supplies for donation purpose. I also create 2 donation groups to support some good cause. And I was also able to help some institutions and hospitals to finding donors. I share all my resources and my connection with people. I think it's a very important for us to open up ourselves in supporting this and without any condition at this time. As I came from Taiwan, I was born and raised in Taiwan, so I want to talk about a little bit about the situation in Taiwan. As what we know right now, Taiwan now is considered as one of the forefront countries in dealing with COVID-19. And mainly because Taiwan had experience back in 2003 with the SARS virus. Throughout the pandemic, we had learned a lot and gained the experience how to cope and handle the virus situation. So this time, all this experience helped Taiwan a lot. Because Taiwan, we understand the early stage awareness is very important to this kind of pandemic. So Taiwan CDC report their concern to WHO in December. Taiwan didn't forget our lesson from 2003, and now even humbly work together to support other countries in the world with supplies. Even though Taiwan is not a member of WHO, but we understand that it is not about any one individual, but about the mankind. So currently I live in New York City, and the city has been on pause for 6.5 weeks. What I know about China, they're still struggling with COVID in many ways. So even though now we are getting close to 5/15, which is the day that New York City planning to return to normal, but I'm afraid that we are still have a long way to go. Since this is a worldwide pandemic, I think and also the solution is still unknown. We can't really measure the damage for now, but what we can do for now is we can keep our communication and our options open. So when things get better, we can quickly react and be the need. And also, I think very important that we have to make ourselves versatile and useful in any way to support the citizen and the community. No matter if you are in your country or you are living somewhere else, I think that's very important because we are together, the whole world, we're together, we are not alone. And whatever we do to support our community where we're living, I think it will, it also will help us and help our family a lot. And moreover, I think at that time, later on, we will know what we can do to make this world a better place. And that's my belief, and I'm still doing it. And then I encourage everyone to do the same. And thank you, everyone. I really appreciate this opportunity to speak and to share my thought with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Allison from Taiwan. We really appreciate what you've shared with us. I like what you said about it's about humanity. It's not about one person. And also, you're doing a good job with what you're doing with your charity projects. Thank you for also reminding us to be charitable and to remember others. Thank you so much. It was an honor to have you today. And so we are going to go to Denmark right now. And I'm going to invite Mrs. Rebecca West from Denmark.
Good morning.
Hey.
Is the audio on? All right, wonderful. Yes. Thank you so much, Joy and Caroline and our beautiful host country of Kenya. I had the opportunity to travel to Africa earlier this year in January, and I was able to see Kenya from top of Mount Kilimanjaro, and a beautiful country. I hope to be able to get there one day soon. So thank you so much for this opportunity. It really feels like I'm having breakfast and coffee with all of you, and it's a wonderful social interaction. So thank you so much. So my name is Rebecca West Hensinger. I am Mrs. Denmark World, and I'm so happy to be here. So as a nonprofit CEO, I work with two different groups of people, and I'd like to bring them to the light this morning here. And those people are children and people suffering from addiction. And those are two groups of people that I believe right now need to be just like everybody else, practicing the social distancing. But especially for these two groups, I'd rather call it physical distancing, because just like everybody else, but these two groups of people, children and people suffering from addiction, really need social interaction. Yes, we need to keep that safe physical distance from one another, but we really do need to be socially interacting with these two groups, especially at this time. And the ways that we can do that, we have so many strong opportunities. Right now, technology is really something that everybody who has the chance to embrace it is embracing it, because the technology is what is keeping us together. Just like we are together right now, no matter the distance, wherever we are in the world, we can all be together and interacting with one another. And for children and people suffering from addiction, which is about 240 million people globally, worldwide, these people really, really need the social interaction. So I'll speak to the addiction community at this time. people suffering from addiction and in recovery, which is about 12% of that 240 million people globally. These world citizens especially need us to be checking up on them at this time where we are in our homes. We don't have that physical interaction. We don't have physical group meetings. Now everything is digital, which is wonderful. But what it has done is broken the routine for a group of people where routine is paramount to their recovery. So how can we keep up these routines and stay social, but still have that physical distance? And as I said, technology is such a gift to all of us at this time, especially for people in our addiction recovery community. So thank goodness for that. And as family members, as friends, most of us know somebody who is suffering from some kind of addiction, but we can be there for them digitally. So I invite all of you to check in on people who you know who may be in recovery, or maybe somebody who you know is just struggling with all of the changes during this time. Be that person, check in with them, do it every day. At this time, you don't even have to leave your house to really check in with somebody and make a connection. So I urge you to use that digital platform, check in on people, especially those who we might know who are living in recovery and really trying to stay with their routines right now, which is so, so important. I'm interested to see what the numbers are for those who have sought recovery treatment during quarantine, and even the numbers, sadly, what they will be for the percentage of relapses. And that is something that as a world community, we are really going to have to think about after all of this comes to a close. We must be there for those people. It is our responsibility. And the other group of people who I am blessed to work with are children. So I've been a teacher for my entire career. I work with children on various different platforms. And I would really at this time like to take the opportunity to applaud children of the world right now, because they have lived through something at this point that most of us would not be able to say that we came across in our childhood. Their worlds have been turned upside down, and children are so adaptive. They are adaptive creatures, but they adapt because they need to, not necessarily because they want to. So I applaud the children of the world for being able to roll with all of the changes that have been put in front of them and not having a choice in the matter. And adults as teachers, which most parents now are in the role of teacher, you know, we must remember that children are very imitative, which means they will kind of cling to the energy that you put forth. They will sense your attitude. They will hear your words and really understand the meaning behind them depending on your mood. So as adults and as teachers and as parents right now, we have got to remain positive. We have to have that attitude of perseverance. We always have to remind ourselves of the silver lining in all of this. So as parents, we've been gifted this time at home with our children. We've been gifted this time to be their teacher, to really be involved in their schoolwork, and even get a glimpse into what is school life for your child. I know as a parent myself, now as a 4th grade teacher to my son, I am really getting a deeper understanding of what he's been doing in school. So again, that silver lining, it's there, hang on to it, and remember that children will imitate our attitudes. So we have got to persevere, and we have to lead with positivity. And remember that this time, although it is so hard on everyone, it could be seen as a gift of togetherness, a gift of time. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the country of Denmark. And we were the 2nd country in the European Union to close everything. But now a lot of primary schools have actually reopened, and parents have conflicting attitudes about this decision. Many parents feel that it is unsafe for their small children to return to school, and they're making the decision to keep them home. But some parents have seen that their children are so excited to get back to school. Their parents feel that it is safe for them to return. And so that is happening. But one thing that is really interesting about Denmark right now, and this is a nod to how Danish people really view education and how the outdoors and fresh air is so important. Most primary schools are actually being held in large tents outside because they believe that the fresh air is health-giving and it's something that children really need right now. So that's an interesting point. We may not see that happening in other parts of the world, but it is happening in Denmark. So thank you again for this incredible opportunity. It's been so wonderful to share the morning with all of you and hear about the news throughout the world. And lastly, I'd like to close by saying when COVID is over, no matter where you are in the world, I think we must remember that we're all consumers. And as consumers, we hold a considerable amount of power. So let us bring our business to the small and local businesses who have had to face such a challenging time right now in their business. Let us, as consumers, support these businesses by buying things from them, seeking out their services first before large corporate businesses. And we can show up for them, and I know that we will. And lastly, let's remember tourism and how it is such an important part of this world's economy, and how maybe if we've had trips maybe to Kenya and other countries, how we can postpone them, not cancel them. Let's postpone those trips. Let's still make them happen when it is safe. Let us not cancel, because tourism needs those consumer dollars too. So thank you so much. It's so wonderful to see everybody. Oops, I can't hear anyone.
Joy?
Oh.
Joy, we are waiting for you.
I'm here. What happened? Okay, then.
Can't hear.
Oops, I hope I didn't do anything wrong.
We couldn't hear you.
Sorry.
You have switched off everyone's.
Hello.
Joy, yes, Joy.
Sorry,
Oh,
my
there she is.
electricity went out. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Sorry about that technical hitch. And thank you so much, Rebecca. Did you finish your session?
I did. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. It was so amazing to have you. And thank you for reminding us about the children, because I know many mothers and fathers are complaining right now that they've become teachers, they've become, so many things. But thank you for reminding us to remember to take this time to reconnect with our children. I think that's amazing. So, and finally, our last speaker, we're gonna come back to Kenya, and our last speaker is Mukami, Winnie. She's a policy communications consultant at Winners Frontiers International. Mukami from Kenya, you're welcome. Mukami.
Hello, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. I'm sorry I can't put on the video right now because I'm in an environment somewhere else. So I hope that will be okay with everyone else who is listening in. Indeed, my name is Winnie Mukami. I'm a policy communications consultant. I largely deal with policymakers, politics, and stuff around that. But I also look at matters to do with economy and how we get affected by things other than just the crisis that we're facing right now. But because the topical issue all over the world today is COVID-19, and I'm aware that everybody has had to change their way of life, it is also affecting a lot in how we think, at the global level, how we think at the leadership level, and even just how we begin to solve our problems, because what we usually used to do cannot be done again. I had one of our speakers talking about we have to adapt to our new normal. So the new normal also comes with a great shift in policy making, a great shift in how we have been drafting our policies and implementing them implementing them at our places of work. I also happen to be a director at one of at the Kenya Pipeline. Kenya Pipeline is an institution that is in charge of transporting oil from one point to another, and we are a monopoly. And why I'm giving reference to Kenya Pipeline, it's because it is one of those institutions that has had... Hello.
Hello. Guys, can we switch off our audio, please?
Hello.
I don't know who let me just see. Okay.
Hello.
Thank you. Let's continue. Sorry about that.
I think they're practicing, so that's okay. Clearly, it looks like everyone is excited to sing. I know it. At the end, we're all supposed to sing that song. So it's also good to be practicing it before the time is, So anyway, the crisis has raised new policy challenges, but it has also made a necessity of structural reforms more apparent. Key among them, as I was mentioning to you at Kenya Pipeline, is that we've begun to really understand the needs of the labor market. We now understand who are the most essential workers. Today, we want a plumber. Today, we want the waitresses. We have realized that as much as we may want to have strategic thinking, it is also critical to look at the labor market more keenly. Depth of the labor market crisis has provided an impetus of structural reforms aimed at raising labor utilization, the need to consolidate public finances and the financial pressure, and that there has been a critical issue, especially in Africa. We are beginning to have sober conversations. Before that, we would think about donor funding to do development, but now we are also wondering amongst ourselves, who has the blueprint of what the world class should look like? Just because we see roads in Dubai go up and down, just because we see roads in the Western world, looking so flashy, is it necessary in Africa? So we are really beginning to think about the basics. Because we are yet even to discover our full potential as a continent. So we have been running before we can learn how to walk. So we are beginning to think about how to restructure our loans, restructure our development. In our country, we have a president who was elected on the promise of Agenda 4. And so far, so good. And one of the key pillars he had spoken about was a pillar of health. Today with COVID-19, we have had an opportunity to have our leaders, especially in those ministries, begin to rethink how they have been, equipping the hospitals, how they have been distributing medication. Have we been keen on communicable diseases, which is a basic, a basic problem in Africa? Or have we run to start thinking about, lifestyle diseases, which were not initially a big problem in the continent? So we are really going back to the basics in terms of policy. And when that happens, we we are now beginning to have conference calls just like this ones. Just the other day, we saw presidents gathering in a conference, and they were discussing about our economic strengths and how we need to renegotiate our trade policies with the international world. So we are having conversations around possible debt relief, you know, and as you think about those debt reliefs, you're told whether you're up to the policy requirements in terms of thresholds of appealing for a relief. And then you realize that in the beginning, when you had the conversation of looking for these donors, you were not keen on some of these policy thresholds. So yes, as a country and even as a people, that is a place we need to focus on, because lawyers, and I have heard one lawyer speak, lawyers will always go back to the finer print. So the finer print is becoming more and more critical. So in terms of communications in the area of policy, we are really going back to the basics. We are trying to bring down this communication to the bare understanding. Today, we have people in the rural area who can be able to communicate their needs based on the constitution, based on policy, largely because we have brought down that communication to the bare, in a way that it can be understood by any basic human being. So basically, as the world changes, so is communication changing. We are becoming more direct, more personalized in our communication, and more importantly, our public relations is now structured based on the bigger picture so that everybody is included. So having been invited at the last minute to speak, I hope I have communicated in my area of expertise. So thank you so much.
Wow, thank you so much, Mukami Winnie. We really appreciate for you to join us today. It's an honor to have you speak to us today. And thank you, you are our last speaker. And so right now, I'm going to invite the founder and the person behind all this. She's called Dr. Ayla from Indonesia. I would want to invite her to say hello to us. And I would also like her to talk about the crisis centers, the 6 crisis centers that have been born from these conferences. Dr. Ayla, are you there?
Hi,
Dr.
everyone.
Ayla. Oh, yes.
Hi. Hi, everyone. My name is Ayla Aljufrie. I'm from the second very traffic city in the world. It's called Jakarta. It's 7 o'clock now in Jakarta. I'm 16 years old. I don't want to grow. I want to be young forever. And I'm thrilled today. I'm actually washing my hair today and do a blow dry because I'm going to meet all the most beautiful women in planet Earth. So I'm really prepared, like not as normal. So I'm founder of Ayla Associate. I'm a real estate consultant and also investment. And until 2017, I went to education, and then I met Helen, and then from Helen, I got the idea of woman empowerment. I am big family of Women Leader International Network, and I am the global ambassador with Caroline. Where is Caroline? Thank you so much, Caroline. Is Caroline here? Yeah.
Yes,
So I met from there. I met Caroline. Yes, from there I met Caroline, and then from Caroline I met the most amazing and lifeful Joy. You know, Joy can sing very well. We have to make her sing today.
What?
Thank you so much, Joy, for hosting batch number 8. We are actually already in batch number 8, and for me it has been amazing journey because. When I start World Women Leading Change, I'm actually I didn't plan to have catastrophe here, of course. I have a catastrophe in my business. We have volcano eruption, a national disaster, but it does not stop me. So I was thinking to do it as a CSR of my company and giving back, but actually that is not what happened. I'm actually receiving a lot of things back because then I met a lot of amazing people from around the world. We found that Defable Leading Change to teach disabled children and advocate for the disabled children to have a place in society. And of course, through my woman community, you know, with Helen, with Caroline, and with all other women around the world. We are trying to spread positivity, and it is very important for a woman to have a very strong mental wellness. They have confidence and they have tribe. They have the community. So this conference actually have bring me around 600 new friends for the past 30 days. And normally I came to Vietnam and do the World Global Forum, but today is even better. I don't have to buy a ticket and hotel to go anywhere. I stay at home, and then I still have the conference. And I believe your life and your journey, it is a journey of networking and a journey of the people that you met. Those people that you met in your life, it's the one that shapes you. And so I founded this WLC with Helen Hurong and Caroline. And today, after the batch 5, I founded that we have to do something more than doing conference. We have to start to give back to the people that need it. So we decided to form 6 different centers.
The final speaker. Yeah.
So we decided to make, yes. So we decided to do the 6 different center. The first is education center. We try to educate people from home. 40% people losing the jobs at the moment, and this is forcing an entrepreneurship. So I think it's very important also to educate mental wellness. And the second wellness, it will be led by Kenya, which is it's called Wellness Center. And today I have also Maya Hassan is here. Maya is a very famous harpist, so we're trying to do that. And then we have Entertainment Center. We have Singing for Kindness. We actually get paid for singing. And then the money will be distributed to each countries that need. And then we have a joint culinary movement. Indonesia is hosting this, so we collect. We try to help the people in the community that that the restaurant, the very low class people that sell food to buy food from them, and then try to help them keep their restaurant moving. And the 2 very important one is technology opportunities, which is led by Datin Malin. She's not here today. And then the most important thing is led by my partner Helen Hurong from Vietnam. She's the woman behind all of this conference as well with me, because no WLC, but WLC there is no leader, and she will lead the health opportunities, as we are aware that Vietnam is the only country in the world that don't have a death rate. And thank you very much. I'm very honored to have you all of here, and you've been amazing day every day for me, even though I closed 6 business and let go about 300 employees, but I'm still very happy. And this is the world that we're creating after COVID-19. We are creating this world of vaccine of positivity around us, and then COVID around joy and all love and light from Jakarta, Indonesia.
Wow, thank you so much, Dr. Ayla. I'm so excited to see Miss Helen here, and I would also invite her to say hello to us. She is the other founder of World Conference. Welcome, Miss Helen.
Thank you so much, and I love you, Ayla, and so nice to meet
Helen
you.
is here.
Yeah. Thank you so much, and hi from Vietnam. Say hi from Vietnam.
I miss you.
I miss you too. I am the president of the Women Leader International Network from Vietnam. I'm so happy to be here to connect with all the beautiful women in the world. And I hope we cannot fly right? We cannot fly to organize the event together, but we still keep connect together. And you know, it's like I will share, I am in 6 weeks, I'm stay home to work, and I will help a lot of women in Vietnam to start up business from 100 USD on the business ecosystem. And every day I have a meeting room with around with 100 women to training, to support, to help them how to find the opportunity in the challenge time. And I hope one day I can share this idea with all the women in the world, and we can support for the woman to start up with a small money, but can grow, become with the how have opportunity to become successful and can help another woman. Thank you Zoe, thank you Caroline and Alice and everyone. Nice to meet all of you. Welcome to Vietnam one day.
Thank you so much, Miss Helen. It's so nice to see you. Helen is also my boss, I have to say that, in Women Startup Network. Thank you so much for joining us today. And so this time I'm going to give a minute to our attendees to just say hello to us and to tell us what they do. Just kindly make sure it is just very brief. I'm going to start with Anthony Ochieng from Kenya. He is the CEO of Tour Operations Society in Kenya. Mr. Anthony Ochieng.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon, everyone. It's afternoon in Kenya. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, my name is Anthony Ochieng. I'm the CEO of Tour Operators Society of Kenya. It's a membership organization. Currently, we are around 50. We are looking into taking over the industry in Kenya, to improving it and to ensure business is conducted in a responsible manner. Just to take 1 minute, some of our mandate resonates around advocacy, capacity building and training, wildlife conservation, building tourism business partnerships, promotion and marketing of Kenya as a safari destination, bonding through insurance schemes, and mentorship of young graduates from university who have studied tourism and would like to venture into tour business. I just want to say thank you to the host and also to Mary Kamal, who invited me to this, since we sit with her in the same executive committee in the society. We look forward to many more, and I believe after this, I'm going to instruct Mary to come up with a women leadership wing in the society so that we can work closely and collaborate closely with this forum. Thank you very much. Welcome to Kenya. Welcome to magical Kenya. Asante.
Thank you so much, Mr. Anthony Ochieng. It's really nice to meet you, and thank you for joining us today. We are going to go to the next attendee, Chris Baraka. Chris Baraka, are you with us?
Right here, Joy. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, yes. Yes.
All right, great. Chris Baraka. Thank you, Joy, for inviting me. I wear 2 caps. I work for a university in Kenya. I also work for a mentorship institution that mentors preteens and teens. And this conversation has really touched on the area of education. Right now, universities are closed. Learning is moving online. We've moved online with our mentorship. And I'm also excited to hear Anthony talk about mentoring the young people that specifically take tourism, because some of our students here major in that, specifically SIU. So I'm looking forward to connect with Anthony and probably to throw a challenge to Joy and the other conveners. We may need to look for a similar forum for younger people, for people in universities, for people even at a lower age, so that they connect and share ideas and make the world a beautiful place. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. I think that's a really awesome challenge. So for us to look at a forum for younger people and even for children. I think that is awesome to bring children together and have these conversations as well. Thank you so much, Chris, Baraka. Really appreciate. Now I'm going to invite Alvin. Alvin, if you can hear me.
Hello, I'm Alvin. I was invited to the forum by Mary. I live in England. I'm an IT consultant. And yes, over here, lots of people are really affected because, this COVID, the numbers have risen. I was just looking at the news yesterday, the numbers are continuing to rise. But through all this, we stay positive and hopefully we'll all come out of this much better. And we're going to say that during this COVID time we learned things, we came closer to our families, our friends, and let's stay positive.
Wow. Thank you so much, Alvin from England, for joining us today and encouraging us to remain positive. That's amazing. I'm going to go to Imelda Francisca. Imelda Francisca.
Hi everyone, I'm Imelda Francisca. I am from Indonesia and I was actually the host for batch 6 for this World Leadership Conference. It's been such an amazing journey as I'm grateful that Ayla has invited me into this conference as I've learned a lot from people, leaders all over the world. And I'm in real estate business right now and it's been hard in all industries. All across the world, but I think really, as Helen always said also that there's always an opportunity with crisis. So right now we are really just thriving through and really just making our strategies better and having a high spirit, high hopes. I hope that we can get through this with a positive mindset and also really just be more resilient and being grateful that really our family and friends are healthy. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate. I'm going to go to Senan. Senan, if you can hear me. Okay, I'm going to go to the next person. There's Elizabeth Njau. Elizabeth Njau.
Yes, hello everybody. Hello, nice to see you all. Hi, nice to see you all. I also see quite a number of familiar faces. This is my first time and I've really enjoyed myself. I am in the tourism industry, Elida Tours and Safaris, a family business where we are with my husband and our 2 adult children. So you can imagine how affected we are. But again, as this is something global, it's not happening to us only. So we take comfort in the universality of the problem. And besides that, I also do a lot of mentoring of young girls. So I'm delighted to have been invited. I was invited by Mary Kamal. I have enjoyed the positive energy and the positive comments. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth from Kenya. It's a pleasure to have you today. I'm going to go to Ueno. Ueno, if you're there. Okay, I'm going to go to the next person. There's someone who has an iPhone. I can't see the name, but just the iPhone. All right. Senan, you've come back. You can say hello to us.
Hi, everyone. My name is Senan, and I'm glad to be here. It's the first time I was invited by Wanja Kamunge. I'm glad to have learned a lot from all of you from all over the world. Really, it feels like the world has become a very small place where we can all interact through technology. I am a women and girls champion, so I run various empowerment projects for the girls And currently I'm really feeling bad because most of the projects that I had hoped to do, I cannot do them now because they involve meeting these young girls. And actually in my village where now there's a lockdown in Nairobi, we cannot travel. So what I've decided to do is I started an online magazine where now I'm sharing stories of other people to empower everyone. So hopefully I'll be sharing more as we continue. Thank you very much and pleasure to see you all.
Thank you so much, Senan. You're doing an amazing job right there. And thank you for joining us today. And finally, I'm going to go to Ernestina. Ernestina.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm so happy here. Just now, I asked what time is the Zoom call. I just simply come in and I listen so many fantastic speaker, give so many good idea and a good experience. I want to say thank you so much. I think this time lockdown is very good for us. We need to think how to change our mindset about our business. Change the way from the old style becomes the new style. The new style, I think for now we need to think maybe this 1 year we cannot do many big events, but I think we can go through the online. We can discuss and we can have a big meeting. And our business become a online business, and that's why we can think if our business is the old style business, we cannot waiting until the government let us can gathering. We need to think way how to open our business online. That's why I think now the education and all the business we need to change. So now is the changing time for everyone. We cannot only for waiting another people change. We need to change ourselves. I think today I only share this point. Hope to see you all somewhere. And thank you so much, Dr. Ayla. And thank you everyone sharing. Welcome to Malaysia. Welcome to China. I'm Chinese. I'm from China. So best wishes everyone. I love you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ernestina. It's so nice to hear from you all the way from China. I'm going to invite Carla Cabrera from Philippines. I see she's with us here. Carla Cabrera.
Hi, hello. I'm sorry I cannot go on video because I'm multitasking right now. Hello. Hi, Joy. Can you
Hello. I think we can't hear you. I think you're a bit far.
wait for a while?
Carla, we cannot hear you.
Hello.
Yes, that's better.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you
Hello?
clearly. We can.
Yeah. Hi. I'm sorry. I'm quite doing something else and I'm multitasking right now. I'm surprised that you called me. May I ask again? What's the question?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we just want you to say hello to us.
Gotten aware. Let me fix something.
All right. Can I come back to you later?
Because I couldn't hear you for
Okay,
a while. Sorry, give me a
right.
second.
All right, we're going to come back to you then.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so I also have Imelda, who is Miss Indonesia. Imelda, are you with us? Imelda, Miss Indonesia.
Are we losing Joy? I think we seem to, like we lost Joy.
Not preparing the dirty scale to the hundreds solution.
Carol, can you take over? We think you are losing
Yeah,
Joy.
yeah, it looks like we've lost Joy, and because I don't have a list of everybody who was speaking, I think that we are ending this. I know my girls have to get back. It's morning here, and they have to get back to what they were doing. But I would like to thank all my ladies, all my sisters from the Mrs. World. You guys were amazing, and it's good to show the world too that beauty and brains do go together. I know sometimes when people see beautiful girls in crowns on their head, they think they're just beautiful, but it's great to hear the insights that they all have on being wives, and some are mothers, and just ways that they're changing their whole world right from their houses. So that is just really fantastic. I'm so proud of you guys for coming on. I know it was so early for some of us, but you are also amazing. And I just can't wait to physically take you to Kenya so that the Kenyan people can see you there and hear you speak. You are also amazing, Dr. Rashi, Ewa, Alison, Lorena, Maudlin. You are all like really great. Rika, thank you so much, guys, for coming on. And for everybody else who we met, I really thank you. And you guys were just beautiful as I all remember you. And I think
I was to pass the vote of thanks when you finish.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm done. You can go on. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. It was a wonderful moment for all of us. Unfortunately, we have lost our host, but we are going to conclude it on our behalf. On behalf of the whole team, I take this opportunity. My name is Ambassador Alice Kamunge from Kenya again, and I'm Ambassador for Water and Sanitation. So yes, I'm mourning because through this COVID, we are losing people, but at the same time, I'm happy because we are giving Mother Earth a break that now is cleansing herself. And by the time the COVID is over, we will all enjoy. We are going to enjoy good weather, good environment, and good air, and our children, the children of our, even the generation to come, to be very happy. Let me take this moment to thank the countries which have participated in this. I start with India, bravo, because here we have had so many participants, and we have Haiti, thank you so much, Poland, New England, Puerto Rico, Japan, Taiwan, Indonesia, Vietnam, USA, Denmark, and our host Kenya. I can't forget to talk about Ayla and Dr. Ayla and Helen. Thank you so much for starting this movement, because for us, we're seeing the whole world becoming a very small village, and now the digital world has told us that we don't have to meet. Like for example, in Kenya, we have always wanted to go to Vietnam to meet Helen and to share moments with Helen and Ira. But now here we are, a small world, we are all together. And we thank you so much. We thank you, Carol, for bringing the Mrs. World from all over the world to us. And I know by the next time we'll be speaking again, we'll have more countries participating. Our interest and the interest of Dr. Ira and Helen is to bring the world together so that we can speak together and we can share moments together, and we can share challenges and opportunities. I like Helen because she gives us she always has a way of showing us that where there's a challenge, there is an opportunity. Let us all learn to seek the opportunities within challenges, and today we have learned that there's so much we can do even when there are challenges. Now, as we conclude, we can't forget to thank the host country, Kenya. Wow, Kenya. As I said again, as soon as you are done with this, Kenya, we are going to invite all of you. Please come to Kenya, have fun with animals, have fun with the ocean, have fun with the mountains and the lakes, and you'll get experience you'll never
ever forget. And that's why today you have seen there are so many tour operators from Kenya who are participating, and welcome you all to Kenya when we are done. As we finish, we want to say, together we shall overcome. Now, I want everyone to think in your mother tongue, in your language. How can we say, together we shall overcome? And we can say this, all of us now, we say, together we shall overcome in your language. In our language, we say, pamoja tutaweza. Together we shall overcome. In our language, in Kenya language, we say, pamoja tutaweza. What about in your language? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Kamunge. I see as if Joy, we have our Joy back. Joy, we have unfortunately concluded the meeting.
It's okay.
But
Actually, we were
yeah,
supposed to
I know
conclude.
there's technical difficulties there, but yeah, we were just thanking everybody and also for the opportunity that you guys have given us to be able to speak and express ourselves. And I have so many Mrs. World ladies who are like my sisters, and some of them are young enough to be my daughter. But and you'll meet them in the next batch that Russia will be hosting, and Jakarta will be holding. But we just really thank everybody. We have gained so much of an insight from all of you. And if everybody wanted to unmute themselves, we just wanted to give them a chance, like Mrs. Kamunge said, to think of a way to say in their own language about what Mrs. Kamunge was teaching us all to say about.
Together we shall overcome.
Together we shall overcome.
Yes.
Unidos saldremos adelante. In Spanish.
What?
In Spanish, sí. Unidos saldremos adelante.
Unidos saldremos adelante, sí.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, that's nice. Rosie,
Together we shall overcome.
In Hindi, let's go, Toria.
Yeah.
In Hindi,
That's nice.
So Joy, take over.
All
Thank
right.
you.
So this is now to just say thank you so much for joining us today. And I have to say that we have these conferences happening every week. Next week on Monday, we have another conference hosted by Russia. And on Thursday, we have another one hosted by Qatar. So if you'd like to join these other conferences, you can reach out and I will be able to give you information for the next conference, and then you can join. Others, thank you so much.
Were we singing We Are the World? I thought we were all supposed to sing We Are the World. So unmute yourselves, and as we say goodbye, we can sing We Are the World.
Lead us, Carol.
I don't have a singing voice. We are the world.
We are the world.
We are
the future.
We are the ones who make
Better place.
It's a choice we make. We say so we make a better day. Bye, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
God bless you.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. And
bye, everyone.
Yes.
Thank you. Bye.
Diana,
God bless.
Stay strong and safe,
Thank you,
everyone.
Caroline.
Morning, I was hoping to see your baby. I saw Lorena's baby.
Oh,
Where is
yeah.
she? She's sleeping?
Congratulations.
You have to, oh, she's sleeping? Oh, okay. Can't believe she's 7 months old. Yes.
I know, she's so yummy.
I know. Next time, yeah.
Yeah,
but thank you
for
so much,
sure.
ladies. Yeah, thank you.
you.
Oh my God, you guys are so fantastic. I know it was such an ungodly hour, but I thank you for just really coming out and sharing. It was so beautiful listening to all of you. I can't wait to just go over the notes. I was just so impressed. I felt like I was interviewing here at the Mrs. World. It's amazing. All righty. So bye, everybody. Have a good day. Some of you
Bye,
back to
sisters.
sleep. I love you guys.
I love you too.
Love you. Love you. Okay.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Ayla. Thank you for the opportunity.
Helen. Thank you, Carol.
Thank you, Siska.
Thank you, Kenya. Thank you, Kenya, for being a good host.
Thank you, Kenya. You really did a good job. Thank you.
Thank you, Kenya.
Thank
You are
you.
amazing.
Bye.
I can't wait to see you all.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Ayla.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Kenya soon.
Oh,
let's go.
Welcome, Ayla. In Kenya, we say karibu. Karibu sana.
Yes, I like animal. I like the lion. I will go there.
Thank you.
You guys have to host like 4 event. Yeah, this number 1 is another 3 to host.
Yeah, sure.
Everyone,
Sure.
I love you. Bye bye, Alice. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. Ndio tuna conclude sasa. So what should I do? I close it?